This is another bad neighbor case.
If you thought the What the Hales was bad, this is equally, if not worse.
If you move into Florida, there's some things you gotta know. It's not all sun and sand, there's a place you just can't go. When that 3 is off the charts, the neighbors are a fighting. You can't get any peace or quiet, it's screaming day and night in Levy County. Oh yeah, it's a criminal bounty. Oh yeah, call the sheriff, he can't help you, and the judge will try and fight you. Ain't no way to live the good life down there in Levy County.
Come on, motherfucker! I'll kick your fucking teeth right through the back of your goddamn skull!
There's a woman with some turtles who screams and yells all day. They're all sick and in need of shelter, but the fishing game says it's okay. She's got a kid that ain't hers, and she's locked her in a shed. But CPS don't care about nothing, even slaps around the head in Levy County.
Have anxiety over the roof.
It's a criminal bounty. Oh yeah. Call the sheriff, he can't help you, and the judge will try and fight you. Ain't no way to love your neighbor down there in Levy County.
Same judge.
Same lawyer.
Same lawyer. Randall Shockett is the lawyer for the Gosney family.
There's a man who hates his neighbor from the day that they moved in. Plays his music all day long. No one can stand the din. He scares the poor old widow who lives across the way as he shouts, "You motherfucker, don't you look at me that way."
Oh!
Levy County.
Motherfucker, I ain't got a goddamn thing in my hand!
Criminal bounty. Oh yeah. Call the sheriff, he can't help you, and the judge will try and fight you. Ain't no way you'd ever catch me down there in Levy County.
Another family falls victim to Judge Grudge.
Okay, so we have here in the circuit, the 8th Judicial Circuit in Levy County, Florida. Oh, it is Levy County. Holy shit!
Oh, Jesus. There you go. That answered that question, the second line, didn't it?
Careful, you got nails and stuff. Don't go in here.
Harley, get out of there. Harley, do you see the nails? You're going to fall and get one right in your eye.
Let's go! Let's go, motherfucker! I will fucking kick your goddamn teeth through the back of your fucking skull! Do you comprehend me?
You're muted. You're muted.
I know. I just love the gunfire at the end. Oh, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everybody, whoever you are, wherever you, whatever you're doing. Glad you're here for part 2 of Neighbor Wars, starring Judge Grudge. As most of you know, Megan got her part 1 taken down by YouTube, and I was reigning supreme until about 2 hours later when YouTube got rid of mine too.
Yeah, I got
Megan's
mine back
now
up. I've got it back
Megan's
up.
is now back up.
And so we'll see how long that lasts. I re-edited it, but YouTube is basically saying, some people told me they got messages that said cyberbullying and harassment. I got one that said inappropriate content, and they cited the address of the house of one of the houses.
Yeah. That's the one.
Which, by the way, I just want everyone to know, I have the Gosney's permission to read these public documents, and they are unredacted on the public docket. So it's really
don't
stupid.
care.
I know.
YouTube doesn't care.
It's really
I gave the whole big long reason during my appeal saying this is not non-public information because it's in a public court document. Names, addresses, and phone numbers are not personal non-public information in and of themselves, let alone as part of a official court document. And about 3 seconds later, we have carefully reviewed your appeal in the video and we uphold our decision. So when I get done here, I'll upload part 1 again to my stream. But here we are. We are multi-streaming again as we did yesterday. Megan was in charge yesterday, and today it's got one thing to say to you, Megan.
Look at me, sure. Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. I'm the captain of this here ship today. I will be hosting today, but you are still more than welcome to view on Megan's chat and super chat her as well as me at your own discretion and desire. We'll read the super chats mostly as they come in. We'll try not to wait too long for them to come in, if any of you are so inclined. Not required, not begged for, but always graciously and gratefully accepted. We got a few things locked and loaded here already. Ninja Puppy became a new member of my channel at 5:04 a.m. my time. Thank you, Ninja Puppy, for being a new member. And Brenda Gosney, welcome, Brenda. I hope you'll find today as amusing. It's always funny when it's not you. But when it is you, we realize. See, that's when we forget a lot.
I heard that Brenda enjoyed it very much. So
good. Because Megan and I's humor isn't everyone's cup of tea.
Right.
As you will see. Well, I guess they can't read the comments on our videos yesterday because they're gone.
They're gone. Yeah, the live chat's gone. That's the one thing that really stinks, is that when you edit a live stream and put it back up, all the live chat, it's all gone. And I had to edit out a bunch of stuff. So I even had to edit out some super chats that we were reading, because I couldn't get StreamYard to publish an over 2-hour video. I had to cut out half an hour. So if you want to see the full thing, it's on Rumble, uncensored. You can go to my Rumble channel, Megan Fox Investigates on Rumble, and it's there.
Wow, what did you cut out?
Just us reading super chats. I cut that out. I cut out some other stuff where we were like, "What page?
Okay, right.
Where are we going?"
The video is still intact. The first 35 minutes of the video is still intact.
The first, yeah, totally.
All right, so we don't have to do any of that. All right, what we're gonna do here today, we're gonna jump into the video where we left off yesterday, around the 35-minute mark. But before that, we're going to read a general overview of the case from one of the filings, sort of mesh together the little bits and pieces we were able to piece together yesterday. But before we do that, JKD Buck says, "I'll kick your tooth out." And Preston Nick says, "Megan Fox, I like your intro better." Guess what?
Yeah.
That was also Megan Fox's intro. Gotcha.
I made a new one. I figured it was time for a new one because we're on this amazing Levy County journey and we needed to make a new song. And that, by the way, is called the Levy County Shuffle. My favorite line in the whole thing is, "It's hard to love your neighbor down there in Levy County."
Well, see, Preston Nick was trying to slag me off and boost you, but hate to tell you, it's Megan's intro too. Gotcha, bitch. I'm innocent. And for Megan.
Oh, how did John Cook get released on recognizance from Mad Shammy? Thanks for the 2. Well, the judge decided that his time served, 40 days, was equal to the $7,500 that he would have had to pay for bail. And we're going to get that hearing footage soon. We didn't even know there was going to be a hearing. There's been some concern that they're trying to work out some deal where he's going to get off on time served anyway. We'll see. I think that would be terrible. He's facing other charges too. He's facing battery charges. So
get it? Battery charging? Get it? I'm sorry. Silverleaf, another one for Megan.
The Silverleaf, thank you. The MFer fund. That's what we're going to call it. The MFer fund. It's for when we get demonetized. Yeah, we started out this stream with a video full of MFers. There were like 5 MFers in that. I made it. I just want to tell you, I made a censored version for Jeff to play, and he chose not to. So I don't want to hear any whining about demonetizing.
Well, yeah, we're testing to see to check whether the YouTube web crawling sensors pick up lyrics. So we'll have to see. It's a test run. And Jill M's all for me. Thank you so much for the 5 Aussie bucks. First for the super chat. Thank you so much for being my first super chat of the day. Brenda Gosney's the first member. Jill's the first super chatter. And ooh la la Pat all the way from Paris for the Temu shopping spree. Thank you so much for the 10 euros. And one more for Megan.
PDW, thanks for the 2. Levy City needs God. Some got it, some don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they need. A little Jesus wouldn't hurt, though.
Yeah. You'd feel right at home in the dumpsters. In Lynette's dumpster. The holy dumpster, or whatever she calls it. Emu Warrior, thank you so much for being a supporter for darn near 2 years. Good day, Jeff and Megan. laughing, lurking, and liking. Well, that's all the important stuff, isn't it? And Alita Lee, who's been a member for 1 month. So good to see you here. Glad this is making Judge Grudge's life uncomfortable, hopefully permanently off the bench. Thanks, Megan and Jeff. Great content. And 2 more for Megan.
Unhung Hero, thanks for the 5. Levy County, where a 10-round magazine holds more rounds than most people there have teeth.
Oh, no. And Vicky.
Thanks for the 5. If Wes's friend and daughter press charges, would JC be rearrested? Well, they did. I mean, he tried to press charges for his daughter. I'm not sure that they did it. That drink looks so good. Is that an old fashioned?
It is a wonderful old fashioned with real Italian maraschino cherries. The Luxardo.
The Luxardo. I have a huge tin of those. Oh gosh, I want one of those, but it's too early in the morning here. It's 9 a.m. I can't go get an old fashioned, but I'm jealous. Just gonna sip on my coffee here.
Oh, you got another one from Aussie Wombat.
Thanks for the Aussie money starting you off before Jeff gets too far ahead.
Oh, yeah, I'm already way behind. Don't worry about that. Pin King 554. Which of you two are the dumpster fire?
Oh, well, I had to turn off my little cauldron fire because it was making me cough. I must have put too much of my stuff in there. I was having a choking fit.
You've got a new member.
Oh, Wendy Dyer became a new member of the Fox Den. Welcome. It's super weird in here. You'll get used to it, though.
Obviously. And Adam Walden's been a member for 1 month. Thanks, Jeff and Megan, for doing this. Well, thank you for supporting me for a month. That's awesome. All right. Well, we've kind of got to, Jesus.
Oh.
Whoa, you get the big foghorn for this one.
Wow.
Lorax time today. Love to Mama Megalodonus.
Yep. Megalodonus foe checking in. Nice. Very
Thank you so much, Tease T. You're awesome. Wow.
These simul streams are great. I like how the chat gets competitive.
Yeah. And then everybody else is like, you've been 13 minutes of bullshit. Get into the point. Well, I think we should now God dang it. Jinver, for you, Megan.
Thanks for the squiggly money. Every dumpster in Levy County is a shrine. Not sure what to, though.
and Megan, do you have the bingo card locked and loaded?
Oh, shit. No.
All right. Well, post the link to the bingo.
I didn't save it.
Lame.
I'm going to have to make a new one.
Lame. But I've got the over on my channel, we've got our daily like and subscribe poll, which is just a gimmicky way to remind you to hit the like button and to subscribe not only to me but also to Megan Fox. If you've not done so, take a risk on us. What should the Judge Grudge movie be titled? The Return of the Grudge, The Grudge Strikes Back, Grudgezilla, and Mad Grudge Fury Road. Those are your 4 choices today.
Oh, God, those are all good.
We'll check back in an hour or so and see how that goes. In the meantime, Aussie Wombat dropping the 5 Legal Vices memberships to Project Metal Music. Hey, Joe, Julie, Kaylee, Paralegal Liz got one too. Hey, Paralegal Liz, good to see you. And Patrick W. And all right, we do need to get on this. We'll put a little bit of a pause between all of the wealth you're throwing at us today. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bridget has been a member for 12 months. Is it just me or is the Thomas, Lynette and Laura's voices like nails on chalkboard? Make it stop. Oh, it's not going to stop for days. This hearing is going to take days to get through.
Yeah, that's true.
Buckle up and enjoy the ride. Okay, I think we've got everything that's come pouring in so far. I have a new thing so that people who come late, they can sort of just scroll into the meat and bones of what we're talking about. So it's my intermission. This is my intermission that says we're getting on with the show. If I may, the intermission goes a little something like this.
This is a brief intermission.
You're very much appreciated for saying that I'm appreciated. I appreciate that.
This is a brief intermission.
Thank you very, very much. I'm going to have a search and or seizure. More likely the seizure. I appreciate you.
This is a brief intermission.
I appreciate you. All right. We are going to get into the part 2 of Neighbor Wars starring Judge Grudge. We watched 35 minutes of the video yesterday. We talked a little, we pieced together what we could about the background. But so now we're going to dive a little bit deeper into the lore in a little more coherent fashion than we did yesterday. This is from a recent filing. It sort of gives us the 10,000 foot overview of how all of these cases that are going on relate to each other. I'll read the first little bit, and Megan, you can read the second little bit, if you have no qualms or objections to that.
You start. I'm finishing the bingo
Yes.
card.
And probably going to get an alcoholic beverage too, because it's after 9 a.m. The petition for writ of prohibition. This is a writ of prohibition, and this is part of it. So, as he said, don't worry. There's going to be writs of prohibition filed in this case to get Judge DeThomas off this case as well. So here's the bird's eye view. Let's see where we're at here. The facts constituting the grounds for their second disqualification of motion were discovered on April 12th. This is the court proceeding we're going to be watching today, is the April 12th hearing. In that case, the Gosneys had obtained a final judgment of injunction prohibiting repeat violence against their next door neighbor, Philip Griffith. On September 11th, here we go. Here's where the lore begins. We're gonna delve into the lore of Levy County. Peel back a few more spooky layers. On September 11th, 2019, that's when they got this final injunction, apparently. 4 years later, in March 2024, Griffith filed a motion to dissolve the injunction that had been entered by the late Honorable Timothy Brown. Oh dear. See, so I guess that's why Judge Grudge got appointed by DeSantis, was because his predecessor is no longer with us, perhaps. Entered by the late Honorable Timothy Browning.
Oh,
the
wait.
hearing. What?
Wait, we have to. There's also another thing we have to say here, is that there was the first judge who denied them their protective order was Griffiths, the attorney for Griffith.
Yes. How weird is that?
Mm-hmm.
That's
He
an
stopped
odd
being a
thing.
judge. Now he's a lawyer for a guy that he already ruled in favor of.
Yeah. Well, so 4 years later, in March 2024, Griffith filed a motion to dissolve the injunction that had been entered by the late Honorable Timothy Browning. The hearing on Griffith's motion occurred on April 12th, 2024, again, what we're watching today, before Judge DeThomas, who entered his written ruling on April 18th, which we will read in a bit, if it's several days from now when we finish the hearing. Now, there was more than one lawsuit. This is the second one. The Gosneys also have a 2023 civil lawsuit against Philip Griffith, pending before a Judge DeThomas in Levy County Circuit Court for intentional infliction of emotional distress, trespass, and nuisance. So we have the injunction to not do any bodily harm, and the lawsuit here for intentional infliction of emotional distress, etc. Griffith sought and ultimately obtained leave to amend his pleadings to add counterclaims against the Gosneys. So he got sued, so he's countersuing, including a count for abusive process that also joined attorney Shockett as a party. Now you'll remember, if you saw part one, there was a little bit in the hearing where we were reading in the documents where I guess it was in one of the depositions where things. Oh, so are you trying to make the appearance here? You're trying to force a violation of the restraining order? That comes into play here. So they were basically, well, we'll read the assertion here. The abusive process that also joined Shockett as a party. In both cases, Griffith is represented by attorneys Stanley Griffiths and Jennifer Kirchhoff. And the Gosneys are represented by attorney Randall Shockett and the Shockett Law Group. The factual allegations in the Gosneys civil complaint coincide with the reasons they fear Griffith and want to keep the repeat violence injunction against him. So they're still afraid of what he's going to do, and they want to keep that previous injunction order for the reasons that are included in the civil lawsuit against him. The conclusory statements in Griffith's count for abuse of process allege that the Gosneys and attorney Shockett are working in concert in an attempt to have the injunction violated. So they're working together the Gosneys, the evil Gosneys, and the evil Shocketer are colluding and collaborating to force a violation of the injunction. These legal theories butted heads in the April 12th hearing, which I assume we're going to get through because Megan won't let me pre-watch. Now, Megan, if you want to read this second part, this is the collateral fact.
Okay. On Thursday morning, April 11th, 2024, Attorney Shockett learned that one of his other cases was set as number 1 for a 4-day jury trial commencing on Monday, April 15th, my birthday, at 9 a.m.
This is the one that we thought might have been the Hales case, but it was actually this other case that Shockett had.
In Broward County, and notified Judge DeThomasis as a judicial assistant, as the jury trial would clearly affect a 4-hour hearing in the Gosney civil lawsuit set for April 16th. Early in the morning of Friday, April 12th, Shockett filed an urgent motion to continue the Tuesday, April 16th hearing, which Judge DeThomasis addressed at the hearing on Friday, April 12th, on Griffith's motion to dissolve the injunction.
And that's what we were upset about yesterday was him doing things with other cases rather than the one that he was currently supposed to be hearing.
Yeah.
Now that brings us up to, that gives us the bird's eye view of the things that are going on, the injunction proceedings, the other civil lawsuit against him, and then this other trial that was sort of interfering with this case. And apparently, from what I've been able to piece together in a very short period of time, this entire hearing is going to go straight to hell. I don't know when or how, but that's why I've been able to piece together that it goes to absolute hell at some point. And before we get there, I think we just need to have Megan read another one of her super chats.
Unhung Hero, thanks for the 2. With all these supers, no hair talk in sight. That's right. Keep them coming.
Good.
And I will not bore you with my hair talk. Although I think my hair is looking particularly good today. This is what happens when I go in the lake and then I don't wash it.
Yeah.
It's weird. Tie sticks.
Tie sticks. That's mine.
Oh, sorry.
Hands on my super chat. Tip for the bartender. Thank you very much, Tie Sticks. Appreciate it. That is much appreciated. All right. See, now I got to keep track of the doggo cam. Oh my God, we're almost at doggo cam already. We might be joined by a third guest this evening. But I have this is where I'm better than Megan. In this one respect, I have a special screen.
What's the special screen?
Well, let's bring up our hearing, shall we?
Are you going to you're going to be able to draw on it?
No, I'm doing this.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's so fun. Wait, before we get here though, do you want the background on the other neighbor report on Griffith?
Would you like to do that?
I redacted it all. It's just one paragraph, but it'll give us more of an 19. There were questions yesterday about how did this all start, and is it really Griffith who's the problem? Hard to tell because you've got this one guy with cameras all at Griffith's house, and we couldn't tell. What I did find out was that it started when the cameras went up. I know Jeff had questions about the cameras. The cameras went up when the Gosneys first moved in. They witnessed what they believed allegedly were drug deals going on. Lots of cars coming, exchanges being made, strange, shady looking people. And they had fears that there was drug dealing going on at Griffith's house. Now, he's never been arrested for that. He's only been arrested for the for brandishing boom boom sticks at people and, whatever the charge was. It wasn't for drugs, but that's why the cameras went up in the first place. And then he got extremely angry over the cameras. Now, he started playing his music at really loud levels, and they had an expert come in and measure the decibels, and it was over 120 decibels for hours and hours and hours every day. Now that can cause hearing damage. So they believed that he had a special boombox put in to amplify this sound purposefully for torture purposes, just like you would torture someone, with the loud, horrible music like they did to David Koresh. The people across the inlet could hear it. The people across the inlet were complaining. So here we have a totally redacted. I even redacted the town of Inglis's address so that YouTube doesn't screw with us.
Let's try it again, shall we?
This is the town of Inglis complaint form, and this came from a neighbor of the Gosneys. It says extreme noise pollution from music, not construction, can be heard well 1,000 feet away. 1,000 feet away. Affects the 5 homes across the river 6 to 8 hours a day. Cannot have doors or windows open. Sit on porch or work in yard. The widow on the road is very stressed and afraid of the situation with the neighbor. So this man is torturing widows. I mean, I don't know about, we were talking about Levy County needing Jesus. Jesus would not approve of, we're supposed to take care of the widows and orphans, not blast them with 120 decibels for 6 to 8 hours a day. Jesus is not amused.
They might be really big Toby Keith fans, though.
So that's it. That's part of the background of this. That is what started. So he in response to the cameras going up because the neighbors were concerned about drug dealing, he starts blasting them with 6 to 8, and he would even be gone. He would not be home, blasting 6 to 8 hours a day. So that's some background.
Shame. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. There we go. I mean, like, that's kind of cool. I made that.
Yeah, it's perfect. I need to make one. This is so much better than whatever the hell we were doing yesterday.
See, that's why I said I always wish like Jeremy Hales would stop with the one person cam and I just leave the camera like this so I can use my cool little thing I got here. All right. We're going to pick this up just about where we left off. We left off at the 35-minute mark somewhere, and we're going to pick it up at the 33 just to give us
We left off at 38:25 is where we left off.
38:20. I thought it was 35 something.
No, 38.
All right. Well, we'll skip ahead just a little bit then. I'm bigging this so I can see. All right. We'll go up to 35-ish.
It's a legal argument.
Yes, Your Honor.
Of the court without a factual basis. At a minimum, there was at least Mr. Gosney attesting to what was in a sworn petition to form arguably some factual basis for entry of the relief on his behalf. There's no such factual basis, according to the transcript that I received, and inexplicably, the lawyer for the respondent just stipulated to let's add another petitioner's name to a final judgment without regard to the potential consequences that would cause him. And again,
what in God's name are you talking about already?
No, at least if this is,
I'm finishing up the bingo card.
Not transcript of the proceedings, inquiry of the court regarding Mr. Griffith. Do you understand the consequences of stipulating to adding a petitioner when the petitioner never even pled anything against you, and the consequences directly and collaterally that it could cause you? So there's none of that in the record, but we're going to get to that whole thing. But at this stage, it's my understanding that this, and if you're not moving it in, it's a demonstrative aid.
I'm going to move it in because it is.
It'll be the next numbered exhibit. It's a public records request in totality of everything between these parties in the relevant time frame of July 2019 through January of 2024.
Yes, Your Honor. And I just wanted to bring to the court's attention again that the one incident on July 10th is the only incident that resulted in any kind of charges. And that is the incident for which he was charged in a separate case. And
that's just an argument of the statement, Judge. Conclusionary argument of the statement.
Well, I think what he's saying is that the July 10, 2019 is one of the predicates.
You know what? We talked a little bit about this yesterday, and we talk about it every damn time we bring him up. It's not his job to say what she probably is thinking. If she doesn't say it, she doesn't think it.
It's really annoying. It's litigating from the bench. And by the way, the bingo link is done, and so you could probably check off litigating from the bench. I added a few things this time. We have it's a new card today.
Okay, should we review the new card here real quick?
We probably should.
Let's review the new card here real quick, shall we? Let's see.
We get a free space too today. I put a free space in there. Everybody complained that I didn't give you a free space yesterday.
You think Megan gives anything for free? I lied. All right. Here's our bingo card for today, created by the one and only Megan Fox. Lawyer tattles. Okay. I read something else there real quick at first glance. Lawyer tatas. I'm like, well, fence fuckery, judicial hand motions. I guess I can go with all three of those. We're developing the theme here. Judicial hand motions and lawyer tatas. Assault with a deadly weapon. Dog snore. I, as the owner of these snoring dogs, I would also accept dog hyperventilation.
I heard it, by the way, as soon as it went live. I heard a huge dog snore. I was dying. I was like, oh my God, dog snore.
Interrogating Shockett. Judge yells at Shockett. Judge most important in the room. Motion to disqualify. Death threats. Judge ignores Shockett. Misleading the court. Administration of justice. Timestamp. Professor Time. Judge interrupts lawyer. Outraged facial expressions. Litigating from the bench.
I didn't like the way you read that.
Yes,
Outraged facial.
Yes, you did. Big words. 911 call. Again, lewd acts. We can tell what's on Megan's brain today. Judicial threats.
All these things happened in this case.
Judicial threats. Motherfucker. And calendar chaos. Those are our bingo card options. And if anybody listens really closely, you can mark off dog snore.
And obviously free space.
All right.
And can we do litigating from the bench too? Because he's like explaining the other side's case right now. Like, why
you're the bingo card ruler.
Yeah, I think we can
now,
already check off litigating from the
people
bench.
that are in my stream, as soon in like 2 seconds, I'm going to drop the link and I will pin it up to the top. So hang tight. What did we do? Litigating from the bench. So litigating, free space, and dog snore. Right.
And free space wouldn't stay in the middle. I don't know why. It just went wherever it wanted to go. So quit.
Because it's a free space. You can't keep that down.
Quit criticizing my bingo card. For fuck's sake, people.
All right. I put the link there in chat. I hope. Okay. He's like, I hope it wasn't the Streamyard link. It wasn't. I'm good. And I will pin the message to the top. So there you go. The message is pinned.
How many people are going to tell me that the free space goes in the middle? How many of you in the chat need to get that off your chest right now?
It's a free space,
anyone
man.
else? It's a free space, man.
You can't tell it what to do and where to go. You ain't his mom. It's a free space. All right. Let's see. Stop that screen. Bring back up the hearing and get the show on the road for about the 12th time.
Free space equals no, it's not Steve Gosney. It's a different Gosney.
Okay. Let's see here. Patrick's got this one here for you real quick.
Oh, didn't Jeremy's writ petition include language that included cases where Jeremy's lawyers were representing other parties in front of Judge Grudge? I don't remember, but I know that this writ, the one that they end up will talk about Jeremy's case.
Yeah. If that didn't happen, it's going to happen here the other direction. So
yeah.
Megan is correct. Robert Tower says, I got bingo again. No, you didn't. Stop.
You did not give bingo already. It's not even possible. You've only done 3 or 4. 3. Yeah. You can't get bingo with 3.
Gave rise to the entry of the injunction.
And the relevance of that to a motion to dissolve is...
Well, the relevance, I presume, when it gets to argument, may be that I'm isolating what disputes are really going on between these folks. And then what happened just in the past 30 or 45 minutes was evidence that they're arguing would suggest, even though there's other allegations, they never came to fruition with regards to charges. So it's a limited purpose, but
I would object to any of that.
The objection's relevant. So the question is, does it tend to prove?
Judge ignores Randy.
The court believes that it does.
He just objected and he talked over him.
But its admissibility is a different issue.
Yeah, any attempt to attack the the basis of the injunction.
That's going to be a legal argument
Okay.
that I presume
But
we've
I'll
kind
tell
of
you
previewed
about
a
right
little bit,
now.
but we'll get to that.
We just heard argument there. That's why I objected. That wasn't,
the
that
next
wasn't
document-
evidence. It was a conclusory argument of the state.
Good Lord, all three of them are talking at the same time. Judge Oblivious here is just letting everybody's, I don't care. I'm just going to keep talking too. Shockett's talking. Kirchhoff's talking. God.
I object to that statement. And I
Objections
move to strike.
overruled. It'll be the next numbered exhibit.
She ignores
you
him
just interrupted him.
completely again.
The business records are the next numbered exhibit, and then the
Judge
next
interrupts lawyer.
document I provided to the petitioners and the court is the judgment in that case that did result in the charges, the 2019 CF 566. The only reason I'm showing the court this, it's a certified copy, it can be admitted, is to show that adjudication was withheld. It just something to bring to everyone's attention based on the oral representations and the ongoing Gosney phone calls to law enforcement.
Hang on a second. So you want to move this in as the next numbered exhibit, which would be 5. Any objection to admissibility?
The criminal, the last one we just got,
The last one,
this
Which
is
is-
public record, no objection.
which is the judgment without
Yeah.
objection, will come in. It seems to be relevant in that, again, if this is the only matter that would have been a felony or not a felony, it shows that it's a withheld adjudication and there's a representation in a prior.
We don't give a shit. Just put it in the record.
Transcript, I guess, or the phone call that was just played, quote, he's a felon. And so it's to contradict that.
He's not a nice
And
person.
his response, excuse me, respondent.
He's a felon.
Exhibit.
You are not a nice person.
So the next piece I want to go to is Exhibit I in my motion.
All about you, isn't it? Exhibit I.
You are
So-
not a nice person.
And just bring to the court's attention that that is a depot excerpt
Her initials are J.
of Mr.
Kirchhoff.
William
For real.
Gosney taken on October 1st, 2020,
Her first name
related
starts with
to
a J.
that event on 7/10/2019.
Kirchhoff.
After, obviously, so that has to do 2020 October. This was after, or before, I'm sorry, after filing the petition for injunction, that he doesn't recall exactly the events of that day. So we have his full
Deposition.
defo on that day, but just to
Is
show.
there
So what we're going to
more
see here, I just want to point out through the exhibits attached is this change as to the 7/10 event. But the one in the pack that we're going to look at is just the 7/8 event. So on page 3 of what was entered into evidence, I believe is composite 5, page 3 is the write-up of what Mr. Gosney shared with law enforcement.
Hey, Nick, welcome to Ohio.
In that paragraph,
I'm sorry,
Go see
exhibit I?
Jeremy.
Exhibit I to the
Of course,
complaint,
Jeremy's in
to my
Florida now.
motion,
Right.
was a depot excerpt.
I'm so sorry, what are you referring to as page 3?
Page 3
Page
is in
3
the
is in
composite exhibit 5,
It's
which
in
is,
the record.
Oh,
Whoa.
we're back, I'm sorry. we were
God,
talking
Yes.
about exhibit I.
microphone. Watch the microphone.
this was the first predicate act for the basis of the injunction that Mr. Gosney signed under oath. Mr. Gosney was the only person who testified at September 11th. We talked about that. In this event, he states, they're describing the incident. He said contact was made with Mr. Griffith, and he did advise he had a BB gun next to his house. He never pointed it at anyone. The gun was checked. Gosney advised that Griffith never pointed any weapon at him. That's in the police report. Griffith advised that Gosney had shot 4 or 5 times into the ground. Mr. Gosney said he did not. So we're just going to use that and take a look at
Oh my Lord.
Exhibit D, hooked to my motion.
She's talking like she's teaching like kindergarten students. Look at Exhibit D, and then we're gonna go and get our coloring books, and we're gonna read. Oh, I don't like that, pedantic first grade teacher tone of voice.
No, it makes me want to fall asleep.
It's just that, it starts up here and then ends down there, and then goes back up here for the next sentence, and then goes back down there. But we have some questions for you, Megan, from Unhung Hero.
Oh. Fuck off with the free space nonsense. Unhung Hero says, hey, Megan, the free space isn't in the middle. I know.
And Unhung Hero also says, does Megan know the free space isn't in the middle? I think she might be aware.
You people
and
are
Aussie Tank wants to know, does Megan know the free space goes anywhere? It's a free range space as well.
Oh my God. If you guys don't hit like and subscribe, the free space gets it.
Well, I was just going to say, I've got 285 likes. It's like half of you haven't done your job. So get down there and smash the like button on my stream. And Megan's currently got
255. That's not enough.
It says you've got 49 on mine. I better refresh.
Oh, we have 255.
Oh, there you go. 254. There you go.
With 526 of you watching. So you haven't done your job either. I'm very disappointed. I may have to axe the free space. Take that free space right back.
Don't make her put it in the corner. All right. Cynthia, the I don't know where Megan. Someone needs to drop the.
Oh, here I'll drop
Megan's chat. Mine's pinned to the top of my chat.
Oh, I need to pin mine to the top of my chat. I didn't do that. Okay, I'm doing it now.
I got it.
Unhung Hero's got a message for you.
Exhibit D
Money
is the
for the
petition he filed under oath. So again, we're just going to go through and give some examples because this gets relevant into the ongoing police recalls that are being made.
So Exhibit D isn't dog?
It's the petition that was filed in these proceedings, so the
Right.
court can look at the initiating document. Paragraph 5, unprovoked, started yelling and screaming, threats of violence.
Oh, threats
toward
of violence.
petitioner. He then went into his house, came out with a rifle and pointed it at the
That works.
petitioner. Threatened to shoot. Law enforcement was
that threats.
called. 911 responded.
Assault with a deadly weapon.
Was told not, according to them, he was just simply advised not to point the rifle at anyone.
That's my favorite part of that police report. Next time. don't
Exhibit
point the
F.
rifle.
Well, breaking news from MG Law. He says Lynette is suing Jeremy George, DUI guy, and DJ Rattis for defamation and use of name, image, and likeness.
For fuck's sake. Suing with who? Who is it? So does that mean potentially criminal is suing those people? Is that what's happening?
Nope, it's in Levy County, Florida.
Well, who's suing? Oh, that
Probably
but
herself.
that other guy doesn't practice in Florida.
Scott R. Stark, attorney at law, is the person. All right. Well, that's dumb. We'll definitely have to check that out. Guess what I'm doing? All right. Wow. There we go. Well, I'm sure we'll be addressing that. Just when I thought he was out, they pulled me back in again.
How ridiculous.
In our case pack is Officer Breeding's depot. Officer Breeding is deceased, so his depot comes in.
Wait, Deputy Breeding's deceased too? God, we lost the first judge and Deputy Breeding.
As it stands.
Yikes.
And he testified at or around the time of the incident that Gosney stated Mr. Griffith threatened to shoot the camera, and he also denied firing a gun.
Wow.
He meaning in that sentence?
Gosney.
Gosney. Gotcha.
So, right, Gosney is denying ever firing a gun. He's denying that Mr. Griffith ever pointed at him. In fact, Officer Breeding in his statement says, Mr. Gosney agreed to move the camera, and Mr. Griffith agreed that if he moved the cameras, there would not be any more problems. And that is how the case was closed and unfounded. Because obviously, if somebody were aiming and pointing a gun, that's an aggravated assault in the state of Florida, and law enforcement would have arrested on site.
Judge, I understand this officer has passed away. I understand he's unavailable.
Well,
But any statements that are being made on behalf, alleged to Mr. Griffith, is hearsay, because it's being offered for the truth of the matter asserted, and there's a big problem with that. As you know, with the Fifth Amendment, we haven't addressed that. But that is clearly hearsay because he's trying to get testimony in through this, and you can't do that, Judge. Even if the witness is unavailable, the witness is testifying as to what Mr. Griffith said.
Is it according to Officer or Deputy Breeding, was it the petitioner, Mr. Gosney, that was reporting to him that Griffith said he was going to shoot at the camera when he reported it to law enforcement in that? Or is Breeding saying that when he talked to Griffith, the respondent movement in this action, that Griffith himself said, I was only going to shoot the camera out?
You would have to see how it's phrased. He matches his police report. It's consistent with his police report.
Answer the question.
As far as who, the questions were answered, we weren't present for that depot. I did not take that depot. It was a very short, brief depot. And at the end of the day, it's mostly just to show inconsistent statements.
Yeah, it would, well, if at page 6 of that deposition,
You can speak.
Deputy Breeding is talking about his interaction with Mr. Gosney.
Do we have lawyers ignore Judge on the bingo card?
We do not, unfortunately, but that was funny.
Just minding their own business. Bad Ducks for the $2 says, y'all are giving the free space anxiety. It's over the roof. Thank you, Bad Duck. Good to see you here.
At some point, he does overlap it with, he talked to Griffith too, but when he's saying he talked to Mr. Gosney, he was saying Griffith
I
had a
found
rifle
the
in his
original
hand,
bingo
pointing it
card.
at a camera.
Too late.
Never pointed
know.
at him, pointed it at a camera. So that's the
Damn,
complainant.
I forgot
which would have
blam,
been the
blam,
petitioner,
blam.
Gosney.
That was funny.
That's fine, but any statements that Griffith says, I was only going to shoot the camera or anything like that, any actions or statements offered for the truth is rank hearsay, Judge. It can't be admitted. Unless he wants to testify, that's a problem as well.
So I don't know that it's being offered for the truth, because we'll get to the whole issue
Oh.
of whether we're going to relitigate the entry of the injunction in the first place.
Why is he,
But,
again, litigating from the bench?
Inconsistent statement, Judge,
Yeah.
would have to be offered for the truth to show the inconsistency.
Well, a prior
No, see, this is where you go, counsel, your response.
Yeah, instead
That's all he
he's
should be saying.
arguing for her. And she's all, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, now that you mention it, Judge, I agree with you.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
literally all he should be saying is your response, counsel, and then make his ruling. That's all he should be doing.
I cannot stand
And,
him.
And unless Megan has any particular objection, we've reached the part of the show that I like to call
Release the hose.
Oh, yay. Doggo
Uh,
Cam.
we'll get that set up post haste.
consistent statement to rebut a claim of recent fabrication is an exception. I don't know, because Mr. Griffith hasn't testified. So there's a possibility there. It also could go to the weight. It also could be not offered for the truth, meaning it's not offered that Griffiths only said I was going to shoot the camera. What it's offered for, as the court is accepting it, so in that limitation, and it may
Wait.
be
Here we go.
that it'll be accepted and considered and given weight, but not
Aw.
at this point as some other exception or explanation. But really, to me, it explains why an officer trained in pursuit
Why
of
is he making the argument?
identifying if there's
'Cause he's an
violations
idiot.
of law and understanding what the
This
laws
is
are, an
crazy.
aggravated assault with a firearm would probably result. That's the argument. And
You're not the one to make the argument.
He wants to be a lawyer again. I swear to God, that's what this is about. This is all about him wanting to be a lawyer. He
I
doesn't
think
want
he
to be
wants
a
to be a
judge.
professor again. He
Yeah,
wants to. He
maybe.
wants to lecture on things.
Ooh, do we get law school, Judge? Let's see what's on here. Where is it? I know it's on here. Damn. Professor time.
We'll do
Are we at
professor
professor time
okay.
yet? I don't know. Are we?
I think so.
Okay.
and a problem.
Because I mean, he should not be making these arguments. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. No.
All right, let's get it going again. Otherwise, we'll be here forever.
Just want to shout out to
Stupid
Rumble.
judge.
It's good to see you, Rumble.
Hey, Rumble.
I see you over there in the Rumble ghetto. Thank God for Rumble, by the way, because our unedited stream is still up over there from yesterday.
It's the only place it still exists.
Yep, the only place.
Probable cause finding for a criminal offense when talk about I would shoot this camera if you don't move it it doesn't even rise to the level of an assault. You can't assault the camera, and it's conditional upon a move it or whatever. So the certificate of death and the deposition of breeding, which being referred to, would be the next numbered exhibit, subject to that objection, which is it may go to the weight, it may go to some of this being redacted and not considered by the court, which would be the assertions
Justice
attributed
interrupt
to
us.
the movement in this case. Mr. Griffith.
That's a good one.
The next numbered exhibit, which is 6. Make yourself.
Those of you watching on Locals, I do have the Locals chat open, meganfox.locals.com. If you are
Exhibit
part of my
G,
Locals, we're live
attached to
chatting.
movant's motion to dissolve, consists of Mr. Gosney's October 1st, 2020 deposition transcript excerpt, where he states Mr. Griffith shot at his house. He shot at our security system.
Well, I would say that your security system is part of your house.
And there's nothing illegal about putting up cameras or a security system. So it may be uncomfortable for your neighbor that your camera's pointing at his house, but it's not illegal.
To my response.
He can put up a privacy fence.
Exhibit H, move forward 3 years.
PSA from Robert James. Always remember, body cams are for external use only.
That's the 2020 depot. That's the 2020 Gosney depot.
This is correct.
Okay.
This is the October 4th, 2023 deposition of William Gosney, an excerpt where he's asked about the said event, and on page 306, line 2, he tells the story of, yes, he pulled out his gun at some point in there. I don't remember
Let me
exactly
just
when,
whip
but
this
yes.
out.
Wouldn't anyone pull out their gun when somebody comes out of their house with a rifle? Wouldn't you think that would be a normal thing you do when you're in fear of your life?
Mm-hmm. Got no problem with that.
Did you discharge the firearm? I did. How many times? I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't believe so. So at this point, he's testifying that he did pull out a gun and fire a gun on that date. Earlier, Officer Breeding in his depot was searching through the yard for spent casings. Based on what Mr. Griffith told law enforcement he saw, never could find any. And Mr. Gosney denied ever doing that. He admits to doing it in his 2023 deposition. Come forward a few years and we learn that Mr. Gosney's October 4th deposition not only have the facts change, we've learned that Mr. Gosney has been busy filing this stack of reports. So we look at them, none of them, again, other than the July 10th, have resulted in charges. Having no success.
I don't like how she's demeaning her. He's busy filing this stack of reports. He's filing evidence in his case. I don't like that demeaning and dismissive thing. Keep that in the depositions if you have to be snarky. That kind of stuff doesn't have any place in court.
Does that qualify as lawyer tattling?
No, he's not really tattling. She's just Karening.
Karening? Shit, I didn't put that on the card.
It's our belief in incarcerating Mr. Griffith for anything and everything from contaminated pool water is in one complaint to I think noise,
yes.
To try to have this injunction violated, some kind of contact. He then files a civil case in case 2023
Which
CA
he is
58.
well within his rights to do.
Yeah, because you can't get any relief.
It
through
is,
criminal.
it is contended that that case is nothing more than some type of ruse to stage contact, because the first thing that the court had to address in that case was a motion for protective order when they tried to set Philip Griffiths' depot. They would not tell us the location of their clients during how we were planning on doing that as far as coming. We wound up having to set it before this court and have that conversation.
Okay, now she's getting into this territory again, where she's saying that that Gosney and Shochet are in cahoots, trying to force a violation of the restraining order that'll get Griffith thrown in jail again, because they wouldn't tell him where they were during the depositions. They all got deposed, so apparently whatever the problem was, it got resolved. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
This is absurd. That's a ridiculous argument. And if I was Randall Shochet, I would take extreme offense to being told that I'm in collusion to force something like this.
Which is why I included Exhibit K to this response, just so it's there and the court can see how it ruled as to, obviously.
Well, let me ask you this on that point. This court on
Judge Splaining.
August 18, 2023 was the oral pronouncement reduced to writing September 29, 23 in case 38, 2023 CA58 because of
DJ Radis in the chat.
In that case, it would be the defendant in the civil action.
Look at me, I'm famous.
In this case, respondent under the terms of the injunction had the active injunction. And at that time, we held a hearing, and this court came up with.
You're infamous. It's like famous, but infamous.
It's more than famous.
It's infamous.
A premise of how the kind of ground rules were going to be for the depositions and the discovery to be pursued. And the issue was, and the record will reflect pretty clearly, the court said, do you want to take, and this was to Mr. Shochet on behalf of the Gosneys, do you want to take the deposition of Mr. Griffith in person? Yes. I said, well, I'm not going to deny your client the ability to be there under the rules of civil procedure, but he's going to have to be there remotely via Zoom or some other video.
Pause for a second, Jeff.
Connection. You guys
can't tell me what to do.
It's been pointed out to me that look at how, in this case, the judge is freely admitting these deposition excerpts. She's going through this list of deposition excerpts. Yeah. But on January 23rd, he went totally nuts on Jeremy and Randy for trying to admit the deposition excerpts from Lynette's deposition. And he wouldn't do it.
That's right. Yeah.
Remember? He was trying to cite some rule that was going to keep them from consideration. And that,
correct.
So this is one of those things where it's like, he's acting in a completely different way.
There was something wrong with the form of service, or no, they didn't properly identify the court recorder who recorded the video.
So it wasn't properly noticed, is what the argument was, that the deposition wasn't properly noticed. I am so jealous of that drink. I want one.
I'm sad. It's gone.
I can't start drinking at 9 a.m. I know I have a doctor's appointment I have to take a kid to, so I can't go. I can't go get a drink.
Mine's all gone. You won't be seeing any more of it.
May have to take a few more breaks so that you consult, etc. But nonetheless, no one will be prejudiced, and you'll get to take his depo face to face. And so the court entered the order that says the plaintiffs, if they choose to attend the deposition of the defendant, shall not physically be present, but rather may appear via video conference.
See, and that's very. They can't be in the same room because of the injunction order. So just do it by Zoom. That solved all the world's problems. And speaking of solving all the world's problems, Mary Thurston's got a message for you.
Oh, hold on. My screen's too small. I can't read it. Let me embiggen. Morning laughter with Megan. Thanks, Mary Thurston. Appreciate you.
And DJ Rad is dropping the $2. Here's $2 Lynette won't get from me in their case.
Thank you for the $2. I wonder if they managed to serve you. Did they manage to serve you? I know we had a conversation about how that would be difficult.
from
That would be
another location.
funny.
It is abundantly clear that that issue was addressed to avoid the possibility of the person with the injunction against them coming into contact with the persons who sought the injunction against him.
Fair enough.
And it made it really clear, and quite frankly, I think we had a consensus on that. I understand that on February 6th, it's a little different in that at some point, and I believe, and the record should reflect this, that on August 18 of 23, right at about that time, Mr. Griffith's now co-defendant in the CA case, CA58 case, was not named. And so we didn't address, because there was no need at that point, the upcoming possible deposition of Mr. Griffith's wife. And on February 6th, that was the party who was to be deposed. And so Mr. Griffith would have a right to be present as a civil litigant and as a co-defendant in the civil litigation under the rules of procedure there. And so what's contained in the motion to dissolve is that on January 19, there was a joint good faith conference by phone, which appears to be consistent with the hearing that the court previously held that said, hey, we're facing the same issue.
Hand
again.
motions.
This could be resolved again in the same
missed
manner
it.
consistent with a prior.
Judicial
ruling.
hand motion.
Do you have to see it in order to do it?
No.
To mark it off the card? Do I have to see it happen?
No, he's just gesticulating here.
Gesticulating. I should have used judicial gesticulating. That's funnier.
Causing prejudice to anyone who could appear otherwise by Zoom. What's the Zoom hookup? And so it would appear that on February 6th,
Because that's all he's
of
saying,
this year,
Joanne. Just
2024,
blur, blur, blur.
the Gosneys would know that they could be anywhere pretty much on the planet other than Walker Bullock's law office, and they will be avoiding Mr. Griffith. If Mr. Griffith, through his counsel, told counsel for the Gosneys that Mr. Griffith is going to be there attending the deposition with his wife that's under subpoena at the Walker Bullock firm at a certain time on that date, February 6th.
That's fair and
what's
reasonable.
The premise of what
That's
would
fair and
what's
reasonable.
paragraph 14 in the motion that's before the court.
Have you heard on that?
Yeah, well, I just want to understand first off from counsel for the movement, that is the premise.
That is
Is
the
that
premise.
you advised this is going to happen,
Correct.
he's going to be there.
And who gets the appropriate Zoom link?
That's the point, Judge. Two things. This ruling in August was a result of their motion for protection order. It's right there.
Right.
Okay, but no motion was filed this time. I noticed this deposition as a video deposition in person at Walker Bullock's office. If they could have cross-noticed it, Judge. They could have said, well, we want a Zoom link. It's not our burden to ensure anything.
Well,
And
let's-
I didn't,
let's-
we didn't,
They could have done that, but they didn't. Let's deal with what did happen.
what did happen is that.
Well, were you advised on January
You won't
19th
let
that
him
Mr.
talk.
Griffith was going to attend the deposition on February 6th at Walker Bullock's office with his wife who's under subpoena?
Does this qualify as judge yelling at Shockett?
It seems like it should.
I think it does.
It does. I'm going with yes. Ooh, all I need is judge most important in the room for bingo. That shouldn't be too hard to get.
Yeah. So I mean, this is the thing here, though, is Shockett is absolutely correct. You know, as to who filed the motion, and what it's not their burden to make sure the other guys don't violate their injunction order. It's not their job to make sure these guys have the Zoom links. It's not their job to do anything for the other side.
Yeah, and he's also his client is entitled to be at that deposition.
And
He has a right to be there.
If
He's
they
not
just
the
would've
one.
did this-
He's not the one who's enjoined from being near that guy.
Right.
That guy is prohibited from being near him. It's on him to stay away from Gosney. It's not on Gosney.
Yeah, and Shockett's explaining this here. It's just, well, that didn't happen. Let's talk about what did happen.
Is abundantly clear that that issue was addressed to avoid the possibility of the person with the injunction against them coming into contact with the persons who sought the injunction against him. And it made it really clear. And quite frankly, I think we had a consensus on that. I understand that on February 6th, it's a little different in that at some point, and I believe, and the record should reflect this, that on August 18 of 23, right at about that time,
Oh, please give me a timestamp. What time?
Mr. Griffith's now co-defendant in the CA case,
I went back kind of too far. Oh,
CA58
well.
case, was not named. And so we didn't address, because there was no need at that point, the upcoming possible deposition of Mr. Griffith's wife.
Oh,
and on
God,
February
shut
6th,
up.
that was the party who was to be deposed. And so Mr. Griffith would have a right to be present as a civil litigant and as a co-defendant in the civil litigation under the rules of procedure there. And so what's contained in the motion to dissolve is that on January 19, there
How far
was a
back did I go?
joint
Jesus.
good faith.
What do you
Mr.
mean?
Griffith is going to be there attending.
You've been doing other things, Megan. We've
You went
covered this
back?
already. Yeah.
Oh. I feel
the
like I didn't,
deposition
like
with
I
his
heard
wife
this.
that's under subpoena at the Walker Bullock firm at a certain time on that date, February 6th. That's what's the premise of what's paragraph 14 in the motion that's before the court.
Have you heard on that?
Yeah, well, I just want to understand first off from counsel for the movement. That is
Yeah,
the
but I'm not done
premise,
talking.
is that you advised this is going to happen.
Correct.
He's going to be there.
And who gets the appropriate Zoom link?
That's the point, Judge. Two things. This ruling in August was a result of their motion for protection order. It's right there.
That's right.
Okay, but no motion was filed this time. I noticed this deposition as a video deposition in person at Walker Bullock's office. If they could have cross-noticed it, Judge. They could have said, well, we want a Zoom link. It's not our burden to ensure anything. And
They could have done that, but they didn't. Let's deal with what did happen.
What did happen is that.
Well, were you advised on January 19th that Mr.
God.
Griffith was going to attend the deposition on February 6th at Walker Bullock's office with his wife who's under subpoena?
I don't recall that at all. I think the question was, are they going to be there? And I said, I don't know. They're traveling. I don't know. And I specifically said, just like here, if they're not, my clients aren't going to be there, I'll have to give them a Zoom link. But I never gave them a Zoom link because they.
Hang on one second. Ms. Kirkhoff, I know you remember the bar. I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand and ask you a question.
All right, here we go.
Oh, he's putting her under oath.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Just wait. I can't wait for your reaction to this.
So okay, he's putting her under oath to say what happened, and I.
But
did
you notice he cut Shockett off to do this?
Yeah. So he's got a point to make. I think he wants to get to the bottom of this. It seems like. Let's find out.
Swear or affirm the testimony you have to provide to the court is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
On January 19, 2024, did you discuss with Mr. Shockett that your client's intent was to be present at the Walker Bullock Law Firm on February 6, 2024, accompanying his wife who was under subpoena?
Yes, Your Honor.
No further questions.
Can I ask a question?
Wait, what? Okay. Did you tell him this? Yes. Okay. No further.
No
questions.
further questions.
And I'm afraid now we've got Randall Shockett here asking if I can ask a question. The judge's posture says, "Go F yourself."
Just wait.
Let's go here.
Judge,
limited to that.
Yes, Ms. Kirk. Did you also ask me if my clients were going to attend the deposition? Did you ask me if my clients were going to attend the deposition in person?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it says counsel informed Shockett that.
Oh my fucking hell, Judge! You
There
are
it is.
not the sworn witness.
And he interrupts her and answers for her, and she never answers the goddamn question.
What was she? I mean, she was going to say something.
Did you hear that 6-second pause?
Yes.
Because she didn't want to answer. Yes, I did.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Judge, you can't do that.
Oh,
We're
but
gonna go
he
back 30
did.
seconds. Oh no, you can't do that though.
Oh, I know.
Oh my God.
I think we
The
can
witness
check
is-
off outraged facial expression on Jeff.
I suppose. The witness is under oath. The witness is sworn, and the witness is the one that answers the question. It doesn't matter what the frickin' statement there says. It doesn't matter what the deposition says. It doesn't matter what the brief says. It doesn't matter what any of the written submissions say. She's been put under oath and is giving testimony. He can't say, well, I can answer that for you. Oh, my God.
But he does.
Oh, he can't. Oh, my God.
But he did. And he can because he's getting away with it.
Oh, my God. That's not good.
He needs to be removed from the bench totally. Totally. Like derobed, off the bench. And, shame on Ron DeSantis for appointing this man. Shame on him for not doing better research.
Wow. All right. That caught me off guard. I just put this back 30 seconds so we can all watch this unfold again. For her, she was caught and she knew it. She was trying to think of a way out of that.
Count that pause. Count that pause again. It's a very simple yes or no question. Did you ask me if my clients were going to attend the deposition?
And clearly the answer is yes. But she was trying to think of a way to make it no. And then the judge steps in. Oh, man.
The questions.
Can I ask a question, Judge?
Limited to that?
Yes. Ms. Kirk, did you also ask me if my clients were going to attend the deposition? Did you ask me if my clients were going to attend the deposition in person?
Yeah, it says counsel informed Shockett that Philip would accompany and requested that he confirm whether the Gosneys would appear by Zoom or not.
That's not my question, Judge.
Oh my God, Judge. Yeah, he's answering the question that wasn't even asked, let alone asked of him. Oh my, wow. I'm having a lawyer heart attack here.
Do you smell burnt toast?
I do. I do.
This is the worst thing I've seen him do. This is the worst thing. And he's done a lot of bad shit.
I don't even know how to explain what he is doing because this doesn't happen in the real world.
No, real judges don't do this. You don't answer the question that a lawyer is asking a witness. This is so beyond. But he's doing it and he's getting away with it. He has his little kingdom here in Levy County where he sits on his little throne and does whatever the fuck he wants, whether or not it's legal or illegal. We've already had the appellate court rule that he behaved in an illegal, an unlawful manner in Jeremy Hales's case. So we know this is a rogue judge. And look at this shit. We should be pulling every single one of his hearings and watching what else he's doing because this guy is absolutely out of control.
I can only smell so much burnt toast.
Oh, wow. I want to put him on my wall twice. I want to get him on the wall twice. He's on the wall for getting kicked off of the Hales case, but I want him on again for getting kicked off the bench.
You need to do it like military ribs, give him like a silver star for the second time, and then like a cluster, Oh my gosh. Unhung hero with a Megan chat.
Cop walking like he mistrusted a fart.
Thanks and unhung hero. Megan wants the judge disrobed. Phrasing.
Phrasing.
And honey, 2800 for Megan.
Derobed. Naughty. Not this guy. Nobody wants to see what's under his robe.
I cannot believe this is happening.
I knew you would.
I know it sounds weird and hyperbolic and things, but no, this is legit. I guess this is why you didn't want me to watch this.
That's why I didn't want you to pre-watch it. Yeah, I didn't want you to pre-watch it because there's nothing that can prepare you for what happened, and I wanted your real live reaction.
All right, let's hear him out.
I have anxiety over the roof.
If my clients were going to attend the deposition in person?
and they get in a little argument about it.
Yeah, it says counsel informed Shockett that Philip would accompany and requested that he confirm whether the Gosneys would appear by Zoom or not.
That's
And there was no
not my
response
question,
to that.
Judge. That
Right,
wasn't my
but
question.
that's how it was
They
framed.
can aver that. That's not the issue at all. That wasn't the question was they specifically, they can say whatever it wants there. The question was whether my clients were going to attend. And I would have to provide a Zoom link for them, just as we
Here's
did in
the thing
August.
is, but the definitive, you don't recall, she does recall.
I was present.
Mr. Griffiths was
So
present.
when it's referred to as a
He's
joint
still not
good faith
letting her
conference,
I was also
answer.
present on the phone.
How you
He
don't
was
recall
there.
and she
He
does.
was there. He was there. He was there. Look at her. This is lawyer tattling right now. I'm sorry, but this is lawyer. I'm checking off lawyer tattles.
Tattling on herself.
He was there. He was there. No, she's trying to tattle on Shockett, but she's lying.
No, she's
li-
saying that the other guy that's saying I was there.
Yeah, saying he was a witness, whatever. But the point is, like, that she's not answering the question.
Well, see, what I object to in all of this is saying she remember you don't remember and she does. How do you know she remembers? She didn't answer the question. You answered the question for her.
Yeah.
It didn't look like she remembered because she was fumbling around there for a good 6 seconds before you stepped in and answered the question for her. How do you know she remembers? And if she says she remembered, how the hell do you know she's telling the truth? Oh my God. I'm
Oh
upset.
no, is this real? Terry is reporting that DeThomasis was assigned to the case against Larry and Jeremy and DJ Radis. That cannot be. He has to recuse. He cannot be over a case where Larry has called him the worst judge in America. He can't.
Well, he can, and then he can be subject of another
Oh my God.
motion and appeal. Oh no,
This is insane.
Oh God. Well, we've got enough insanity here for today. Let's stick to this insane
All right.
case. Chloe Albert's revenge with the $2. Be careful before he has you violated. and for you, Megan.
The adrenaline flowing through Jeff right now just voided his drink. Member
Yeah,
for 3
seriously.
months. Thank you, Cynthia Fire Fairy 42.
Chill is gone. Which kind of her name reminds me. I was walking across the street at lunch today at the office, and there was some middle-aged Korean guy just walking the other way across the street, and he had a shirt, black shirt with white type on, said, "I am the Tooth Fairy" on it. All right, cool. Answered that question. Jennifer with the 5 pounds. Freak out, Jeff is the bomb. Oh, this is terrible. All right, let's see what happens.
So where was the request for the Zoom link?
The request for
Where
the
was the
Zoom
request for
link,
the Zoom link?
he said he would send the appropriate party the Zoom link who should appear. So that would assume the one, we didn't receive one, he gave it to his clients. He told us that he would send the Zoom link to the appropriate party.
My clients have a right to attend the deposition, Your Honor, and in person if they chose to.
Yep.
I didn't know at that point whether they're going to be in
Right,
town.
But here's the thing, absolutely. And just like the court did back in August, there's a way to accommodate that.
Through a motion.
Present by video so that there's not a violation of the injunction, and your clients are not put at risk of fear of being in the presence of the guy who has an injunction against.
Oh wait, you didn't seem to take that tack with Jeremy Hales, did you? I'm going to help you avoid being in fear. He took the exact opposite tack with them. Oh, this guy.
Him. And so that premise, that protocol was already resolved. But here's the thing, you don't recall, Ms. Kirchhoff does, and Mr. Griffiths, let me ask you, do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony?
Oh God, now he's putting Griffith under oath. You're under oath. You're all under oath. They're all going
Now
under oath.
he's putting Griffiths, the other attorney, the former judge, under oath.
Whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Yes, sir.
For the record, you're Stan Griffiths, co-counsel in this matter.
Yes, sir.
Were you present or during, I guess, in the joint good faith telephone conference?
Yes, sir.
And was Mr. Shockett's office advised that your client intended to be present at the depot at Walker Bullock's office on February 6th to accompany his wife?
Mr. Shockett personally was advised that.
Okay. So if that's true, which they do recall and have both testified to,
Right.
and you don't recall, why would your client show up that day?
There's no, if they're going to show up, okay. No Zoom link was provided. I said, I don't.
Randy didn't say I don't recall. He never said I don't recall.
That's why I'm trying to figure out where that's coming from. I didn't hear that.
No, I didn't hear that either. The judge just never let him explain. And so he's just saying, well, you don't recall. But I don't think that's what Randy said. And now it sounds like he's getting flustered. Shock, it sounds like he's getting flustered.
Well, he's saying, I didn't get a Zoom link and my guys have a right to be there. So guess what? We show up in person. Judge the dumbasses.
Know if they're going to attend.
Okay, did you ever call them back and
Well,
say,
I don't even
still
think the
don't
notice.
know on the day of February 6th?
He doesn't have to call.
Therefore, there might be a risk that they'll be here?
That's, I think the Walker Bullock's location wasn't even known before at that point. I got to check. I don't even think we had the location set.
Maybe I'm making an assumption I shouldn't make. Which
you freaking think so? You think you might be making one or two assumptions you ought not be making there, judge sitting uncomfortably in the chair. Looking like Burl Ives from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
This guy.
You're making a few assumptions there. Jeebus.
Is that a lawyer would want to concern themselves with the best interests of their client and protect their client from imminent risk of harm and or fear. And you've got two people who have a court order that a court
It's not
found
on them to avoid Griffith.
We'll get to that. But a court order found that they should
It's
be
on
protected
him.
from Mr. Griffith. And one way is to not go around him. They're not required to stay away from him. He's required to stay away from them. But
So
if
what the
condition press,
right.
So what are we talking about?
If he walks in the door, they've got to walk out the door. Does not matter.
Yeah, exactly. If Gosney is somewhere and Griffith is somewhere, it's Griffith who has to leave. It is not the Gosneys. I can't even with this guy.
Of February 6th depot is two lawyers for Mr. Griffith say he's going to be at that location. The safety of your clients would require at least a clarification and maybe a call back. It could include you saying to them, your client needs to be by video conference when her depot is given. And then you guys would have sorted that out and maybe there would have been a motion or not. But what actually happened, not what could have happened, but what actually happened is your clients show up after being told Griffith is going to be at that location. And when they get there, he's already there. So let me just ask this. Why wasn't the solution the guys needs to back out and say, let's get a video hookup?
They don't have to.
Exactly.
Consistent with the court order in August.
Isn't it better for them to be at the deposition of his wife and let Mr. Griffith appear by Zoom?
Well, that might have been an argument advanced to the court, and this court might have actually carved out that exception and did it that way. But given the previous order of the court, and given what is clearly recollected testimony that you, as the lawyer for two people who are claiming imminent fear, know that the one place that Mr. Griffith will be at a certain time on a certain date will be that location, Walker Bullock's office. Why walk him into that fire?
Because I didn't know he was going to show up. And because again, why not
tell you these
I did that you can accept the judge?
No,
I
wait a
didn't
second.
know.
You're saying you don't recall. They're saying they do.
Right. And what's more important is no motion for protective order. This seems the court is putting the burden on us to protect.
I understand what they could have done.
There was no protective
But the
order, so
fact
they
is
waived
did
it. As a matter of fact,
we're not here in case CA-58, okay?
Okay.
So we're here in this case, and so the issue is one of objectively reasonable fear of imminent risk of harm, and whether that's still an ongoing issue or not. And so related to that, it's a different issue of whether technically under the rules of procedure they could have pursued a protective order like they did before. It's just the reality.
Just shut up.
What happened on that date and what happened prior to that date, January 19th, which would be 12.
How long? We're an hour. How long are we into this hearing, by the way?
Hour and 3 minutes.
An hour and 3 minutes. Isn't this the same guy who said that he does 5 to 6 cases in an hour?
Yeah.
But he's
I mean,
taking
looking
all
at
this
this-
time swearing lawyers in to get to the bottom of this stupid, stupid thing when he could have just been like, yeah, you know what? Your client needed to be the one to leave. So you fucked that up. Let's move on.
Well, he's making it a big deal. Like I thought your guy was scared of Gosney. I thought your guy was scared of Griffith. So
Mhm.
yeah, how come he would want to be there if he knew Griffith was there? And what Shock is saying is it was his wife that was there for the deposition. I didn't know if he was going to be there or not. He has no business being there. We have the right to be there. She's the one that's under deposition. He should have been somewhere else on a Zoom call.
Mm.
And we saw the judge law-splaining there earlier. Well, as a co-party to the other civil action that's tangential to this, he has the right to. He's like, this is R-worded totally. I mean, this is bad.
This is bad. Wait, did he say a timestamp and I missed it? Somebody said there was a timestamp.
No, I didn't hear a timestamp.
I didn't hear a timestamp. Norma, there was no timestamp. You don't have bingo.
I'm stunned. This is egregious even for him. KDP says, God, I hate this judge. His voice irks me. You and Megan make this so entertaining. Thanks, Katie. I'm trying not to have a stroke.
We're glad to be here for you. We're glad
And
to be
Ozzy
here for you.
Wombat. F-Wit can't preside over Jeremy for sure. Yeah, you can't preside over Jeremy's case anymore.
He's been assigned to it, though. He's been assigned.
Well, it's not
to
Jeremy.
It.
Well, that part of Jeremy's case. Well, he can still be assigned to that
they're all
case.
they're being sued together.
Yeah, but that's a completely separate case. He can be assigned to it. No problem. He can be assigned to that separate case. He's not taking off any case that has anything to do with Jeremy, just that one particular one. Chloe Albert's revenge with the $5. How do some judges get this way? Because they're in a tiny little town, a tiny little county, and they have perceived
Look at the
power.
second part of this question.
Are they diddled in chambers by older judges or something? Well, DeSantis. DeSantis.
Actually,
placed
though,
him
I do think though that since the judge was removed by the appellate court for bias in Jeremy's case, he has a rock solid reason to strike the judge immediately from any.
Yeah,
new
they still have to
case.
go through the motions though.
Yes, he has to file. It's not like automatic.
And maybe he'll have learned something by that point. Oh my God. All right, let's continue with this bullshit.
17 or 18, I don't have the calendar in front of me, days before, 2+ weeks before the actual depot, there's communication that on February 6, 2024, at the time that depot commences, Mr. Griffith will physically be in a law office operated by Walker Bullock in the city of Williston, Florida. And one way to avoid risk of contact would be, yes, pursue an order from the court to divvy up what's going to happen, or call the depot off, or make clear, like maybe return the phone call from the joint phone conference and say, hey, I do now know where my clients are going to be and where they want to be and where they have a right to be. And Ms. Kirchhoff and Mr. Griffiths, let me tell you, my clients have a right to be, want to be, and will be at that deposition. And contrary to what you said your client's intent was, he needs to change his plan. And then in that 18 days time, chances are this would have been resolved one way or another, and that risk would have been averted.
Likewise, again, if you're seeking to
I'm not saying it's on them.
Okay,
When
then
I
that's
say
fine,
could,
Judge.
they could have filed, but what I'm saying is what did happen.
Yeah, you sort of did say it was on Shockett because you talked about what Shockett should have done, could have done, should have done, should have done, should have done. You didn't say what they should have done. So yeah, you were saying it was on him, Judge.
And he's interrogating him. He's interrogating. I'm checking off interrogating Shockett because he's interrogating him with like rapid fire. It's rapid fire interrogation. He's not letting him get a word out, and he's trying. I think he's trying to fluster him, and you can hear that Shockett is getting flustered. He's acting like an attorney who's got somebody on the stand who he's cornering.
Well, see, this is the thing. This is the judge who can essentially say and do anything he wants right there, right now. And anything Shockett says is going to get him blasted.
Mm-hmm.
So he can't say what's on his mind. He can't argue with the same degree of annoyance in his voice as the judge is using. You can't help but get frustrated like that. Where the other guy, it's like talking back to your mom. Your mom gets to scream at you, and you know that if you do, you're going to get belted across the jaw and sent down the stairs.
Yikes!
It's unfair. And KDP with a 5,000 Korean won for your Shingyongwa. That's a neurology fund. For your neurology fund.
That's funny. For a minute, I thought it was motherfucker in Korean.
No,
the motherfucker fund, because we still need funds for that too.
We do. Yeah.
How do you say motherfucker in Korean?
Well, the closest approximation would be shibai-nom.
Shibai-nom.
Yeah, just careful. Your exchange student will hear you.
Hopefully not. My door's closed.
All right, let's.
The teens are still sleeping.
Let's get on with this stupidity.
I want to be clear because of what's pled in 14.
You want to be clear. Sure.
Has been clarified that they did absolutely tell you where their client was going to be at that time and on that date.
Then if that was the case, not getting a Zoom link, they should have at least called my office and say, is there going to be a Zoom link? We don't have a Zoom link.
That's an issue for whether or not there's been a violation of the August order, which didn't address this situation, and there really was none. I got your point. There wasn't an order.
And it's not, frankly,
I'm just talking about.
I understand what you're talking
facts
about.
Of life of how to protect your client.
Well, then it's obvious they didn't know he was going to be there, and we called the judge. We couldn't reach you, and then he could have left.
Perhaps if you would have answered your damn phone, Judge, this never would have happened. Why don't you answer your phone, Judge? Huh? Answer your phone, Judge.
I heard, and we don't have this transcript yet, but I'm going to get it. I heard that Judge DeThomasis, he crashed the deposition. He crashed one of the depositions. He came into one of the depositions in this case and sat down and started arguing with people during the deposition.
Oh my. We need a transcript reading.
I know. We have to get that. I'm working on it.
Wow. All right. Wendy A for Megan Fox.
Worst judge ever. Yes.
And Wizzy Wheels for Megan Fox.
Judge is nothing but a schoolyard bully. True.
And Joe Biden for
Auntie Bev also has my vote though for one of the worst judges in America. Truanina Shabbat pressure better care with the 5. Again, y'all cheer me up. Even with the worst topics, Megan can still find something to laugh at. Thanks for all the laughs. It's been much needed. You're welcome. Thanks for the super chat.
Oh. Does it count if I'm directing a lewd act towards the judge? Thanks, Jack's mom. Appreciate that.
That's funny. No,
I would have given it, but he never left.
Couldn't the Gosneys who got their second intern leave also?
They don't have to.
The depot be canceled because of the fact that Griffith decided to be there?
And I filed a motion to compel her deposition right afterwards. That's correct.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to just the.
I just went off on a tangent because I wanted to make sure that what's being averred in subsection 14 of the petitioner's motion means what it says.
And if he's going to continue, I would want him under oath with his statements. I mean, I would want him put under oath as well.
Oh, here we go.
Statement as to the most relevant part, which is, was there notice to the Gosneys via their attorney that Mr. Griffith on that date at that time was going to be there? The answer is yes. Because one person says he doesn't recall, 2 people under oath said they do specifically recall advising of that.
Okay, and then for the limited purposes of that, you can give it whatever weight. But again, no motion for protective order was filed in that case at all, which is the proper thing to do. And once she shows up, the rule is that the notice is proper and accepted, and any objections to it are waived. That is the rule. So when she showed up, they waived any objections to the conditions, the taking, the video.
We are not talking about whether there are sanctions for discovery violations or not, allegations in 23 CA 58. We are here on the factual matter of whether or not your clients are objectively reasonably in fear of imminent risk of harm. And so the reality of how this played out, we know thus far, there may be more testimony, but this seems to be pretty relevant. And Mr. Griffith is in an office building with prior notice to counsel for the petitioners at a time when his wife's deposition is going to take place, that the persons who have
How
the
many
injunction, your
times
clients, plaintiffs
is he
in the
going to
CA
say this?
case, petitioners in this DR case,
As many times as it
get
takes.
there after him, and they're physically in his position, and they're saying to the cops, lock him up in a cage and put him in jail.
Did they say that though?
As a remedy, as opposed to stop it.
Oh, see, even Shaka was laughing. He didn't say that.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he said on in the 911 call. I think he just said there's a guy here violating a restraining order. So, can you come and take care of it?
Look, at very worst, it was a dick move on the Gosney's part, on Gosney's part. At worst. But regardless of whether it was or not, Gosney walks in the door, Griffith's got to walk out the other door.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. If he does, 911 doesn't need to be called. If he does, there's no risk of violating any restraining order.
He's the one who refused to leave. And by the way, his lawyers put him in that position because they did not make him leave. And she claimed that they were barricaded inside a conference room, like they couldn't leave. He had him cornered. Oh, come on, lady. Just walk out the door.
Thomas Rogers is trying to summon Mark Feather.
Mark Feather, Mark Feather, Mark Feather.
This is all right. I get to read. Oh, Wink's member for 5 months. Thank you very much for being a member for 5 months, Wink. And Chloe Albert's revenge. Do I have this right, Megan? He F's people's mothers. No,
I never said that.
Go ahead, just move
allegedly.
Along. Thank you, Chloe. Sarah Adams for Megan Fogg.
Pablo Escobar had lots of hippos on his campus. Hippocampus.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Wizzy Wheels to the £2, just so you don't feel left out, Jeff. Thank you. Thank you, Wizzy Wheels. Oh, let's get back to this weird, bizarro world that these guys live in.
Depot and whatever. I mean, and so it goes to the question. I'm limited to the question of whether there's been a change in circumstances and whether the court can reasonably say at this point, from an objective perspective, that there is that the circumstances haven't changed, that they are still objectively reasonable when they say they're in fear.
And the burden, it's not our burden, Judge.
I know it's theirs.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
it makes it
They
clear.
don't have to prove they're in fear.
Okay. It's clear, but I want to make sure that premise is what was pled.
Just as a housekeeping matter, Judge, how much time do we have?
Well, we're beyond time. And so
this was originally scheduled as a 1-hour hearing from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m.
Remember when I told you yesterday to pay attention when he said, let's use our time wisely?
Mm-hmm. We're 90 minutes into a 1-hour hearing.
And we're still arguing about parking lot shenanigans.
This is part 1 of 7 parts. They ain't going home anytime soon.
Oh, and by the way, the 7 parts of this hearing, all the same hearing. All the same hearing. There's no continuation. It doesn't pick up on another day. There are 7 parts to the same hearing on the same day. Now, wait, just remember, as the judge starts talking about how we're over time, remember how he behaved when Jeremy Hales, when Mark Feather was like, look, I just need 15 minutes. Just give me 15 minutes. Let's stay till 15 more minutes and I'll get this finished. Remember how he behaved.
Mm-hmm. He went ape shit and brought it up for the next 4 hearings.
Yep.
In great length, painful length.
And he claimed that he could not keep his staff past 5 p.m. on the dot.
Ever.
That they would lynch him immediately. He basically said, my staff would never forgive me. I cannot keep them past 5. That is so rude and uncalled for, blah, 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 blah.
Do I get college credit to listen to this hearing? Asked Patrick W.
You should.
You should get hazard pay at the very least. And cages for Megan Fox.
Thanks for the 5. Is Judge dating the lady lawyer? He speaks for women a lot. Ask Lynette. I don't think so. I don't think she looks like an asexual to me. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion.
All right, let's move along.
Asking questions to get us to
I'm almost.
the relevant.
If we're out of time, whatever much time we have, we can have my clients testify.
Yeah.
Even if not today, we can continue it. I don't.
I'm going to decide that in a minute here.
Okay.
We're almost, I think.
Oh, we're almost done. I just want to move the exhibits that I hooked to the response.
Now, mind you, I'm almost done.
Mm.
This is her opening statement. She's almost done with after an hour and 9 minutes.
God.
This is her opening statement.
This is, I can't, and all her moving in of evidence, right? She spent so much time moving in all the deposition excerpts and launching, baseless accusations against opposing counsel that we're 90 minutes into a 1 hour hearing and she's taken up all the time. Fuck her. She's a terrible lawyer too.
Uncle Ruckus. How you doing, Unc? I get high anxiety watching this judge, but for some reason I can't stop. It's like watching a train wreck. Exactly.
All of them, they're all from Depo's excerpts. The last one, Exhibit J, talks about Mr. Gosney, again, just trying to find out things about Mr. Griffith rather than avoid Mr. Griffith. He kind of looks him up, tries to make complaints with Social Security Administration, Workers' Comp Administration, and so on. So that's in here. So I just want to say there has been a changed circumstance. Again, Mr. Griffith no longer is staying in that home. That home is listed for sale.
Objection, that's hearsay unless we're going to have testimony.
He no longer consents to the appropriateness of the injunction.
Hang on.
Judge ignores.
He's no longer at that home, and it's for sale. The no longer at home.
But they can, that's correct. He does not reside.
Objection, hearsay, lack of knowledge, lack of competence. Attorney can't testify.
Right now, it's an argument.
That's correct. And he's no longer consents to it being, for a valid purpose if it's improperly being used to allow them to continue to file false claims as to a 500-foot rule that they know doesn't exist. But February 6th, January 26th, both of those going to that 500-foot rule. The court saw the January 26th package. He puts a concentric circle on a Google aerial map and draws a radius of 500 feet around his house. They weren't even home. It looked like they watched the event and then call after the fact. They're seeking the contact. So the second prong is the propriety and reasonable fear part.
This is just an attorney testifying without any actual basis.
It's based on the exhibits that would be, I don't know if that one was the Williston Police or Levy County Sheriff's Office exhibit, but it details that call, and attached to that exhibit, which is now before the court, is the overview map with that circle.
Well, then it speaks for itself.
It's in evidence, right? And she's arguing what the relevance.
Oh, so that's my point. We're at argument stage. Okay.
Or a 500 rule that doesn't exist.
If they don't sustain their burden, and
are we at the argument stage? We thought this was opening statement.
Yeah, exactly.
What are we doing?
He's like, where's my? I don't remember giving my opening statement.
I didn't get to.
Did I miss something?
He's just been put in the corner, and the judge is like, "Fucking sit there and shut up."
Seriously, Jesus.
Wow. Verdict, but they're making their argument. Yeah, there's nothing improper about that.
So we're here to say that the Gosney sphere is just simply not objectively reasonable. They're inviting the interaction. They appear to enjoy the interaction. They take part in the interaction. They watch videos. They call after the fact. So that objectively reasonable fear part is what we wanted to have Dr. Janine Shelby, an expert forensic psychologist, who has reviewed their depositions. She's reviewed their therapy records. She's reviewed the police reports and the interactions and the audio and listened to how they make these complaints. And because again, don't take my word for it. It's just not objectively. You're inviting the contact. If you're in fear, why are you seeking contact and not disclosing where you're going to be and all these games that obviously attorneys in practice, we would have known if my client's going to be there and I didn't get a Zoom link that you gave it to your clients. So that's at this point, we wanted to be able to at least proffer if you're not going to allow Dr. Shelby to maybe speak for 5 or 10 minutes. It would be 5, just a very.
We're going to get to that. The issue is whether she's been disclosed previously. And I know that you come to that information late as a consideration. The remedy may be to have her provide her testimony on another date, but we'll get to that. Mr. Griffiths, you have something?
No, I'll wait till she's done.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to object. One attorney, one argument, Judge.
I'm not arguing.
I don't know what we have.
I think he's trying to get the attention of his counsel.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Finish up. Yeah, just finish.
Oh, I'm sorry. So there is no evidence to support the continuation of this injunction that really, so again, these injunctions are equitable. It never on its face, on its face it did, but after the fact and what we've learned and how it's been used in the 58 case, it's not equitable to allow this to stay in place. Again, with the contradictory statements and positions on how different events transpired that are completely different. There's just no competent, substantial evidence to support a continuation. Again, and also it is agreed, and there is a case in the case pack. So I can argue my cases now, or I can do them after, but I would put in Burns v. Bacharach, 220 Southern 3rd, 438, Florida 4th DCA 2017, when there's no competent evidence to support the issuance, and there's no stipulation of it actually by the respondent as to actually participating in it. It is merely an agreed final judgment, and they can be revisited at any time. Which they can in any event, but here there's nothing to undo. It just should have never, they just thought it might be safer for everyone if they just have this in place, maybe give them some peace of mind, and all it's done is create ways for the Gosneys to add more cameras, to continue to what really looks like the victims are the perpetrators and the perpetrators are the victims. They're stalking them through camera devices, they're recording them, and then playing the recording back. That's in the police reports. They've played these recordings that they capture, right? That's in the report. And they're just, we don't hear what you hear. There's no direct or indirect contact with you. We don't even know where these recordings came from.
From their damn security cameras on their damn property. That's where they came from. Oh my God, these people have the audacity to look at their own video camera footage.
And they're probably eating popcorn while they do it.
Meanwhile, the neighbors are showing their asses to the camera and running around naked at night.
Making lewd and obscene gestures at the Gosneys. By the way, in the opening montage, did you see that video that was the neighbor's wife mooning the camera, no underwear on under that thing, just with her bare ass straight at the camera, at the Gosney's camera. And they're not supposed to watch that. I'm sorry, but if you put your bare ass in front of my security camera, I'm going to publish it on YouTube.
It's not called a ring cam for nothing. Continue.
They were not, most of the ones for the police reports, they didn't have copies of them anymore at that time. So we don't even have authenticated exhibits on that issue. So we'd ask the court to dissolve the injunction, and we'd also ask for specific findings regarding the improper allegations in the filed response filed by petitioner as to the outstanding pending criminal charges. That all it would have taken is, one quick Levy County Clerk of Court search to see, as well as the improper use of the civil action demonstrated in the exhibits, which are attached to the police the motion and the police reports filed. The Gosneys and their counsel, again, Mr. Shockett chose to appear in this case. He is part and parcel of what is happening here. The audio show he directed his clients to make.
Mr. Shockett chose to appear in this case. You think it's because he was fucking hired?
Because it's his job and he has an obligation to be there, maybe?
You
He can't just not show up. What is she talking? What is she on about?
These calls. He's an attorney. You can read the injunction and see there's no 500-foot rule. And he's directing them, telling them, call. So we would like findings because he chose to.
Let me tell you probably what's most likely going on. He's like, he's telling him to call. What's probably happening, and you know, I know Mrs. Gosney may be here in chat, and I wouldn't want to put any words into anybody's mouth, but just from experience, something along the lines of gets a call from the Gosneys or somebody going, they did it again. They they're doing this on our lawn. They're throwing shit over on our side of the fence. They're walking on our property. They're doing this. They're doing that. And he says, well, call it in.
Right.
Call it in. Make
Because
a paper
that's their
trail.
only-
Keep
That's
records.
their only remedy. And by the way, I believe that that's why they filed the civil suit, because a restraining order, the order of protection, really gets you no relief. All it does is, you know, if he violates it over and over again, you can see that the sheriff isn't going to do shit. The sheriff doesn't do anything. You call him, you say the guy is violating this. Does he get arrested? No. They don't do anything. So if you want relief in this situation, you have to file a civil suit, which is what they did. They're trying to get some kind of compensation for this bullshit they've been putting up with. And this, he's ruined their quiet enjoyment of life, ruined everything about living in their new house. So, it's not like an order of protection does anything. And the reason why they keep calling is because they keep thinking, well, maybe today they'll actually enforce this fucking order that we went and got.
And you've got to tell them to call it in so you can make a paper trail. You can keep a record of how many times, how often they're violating. You need that's what's
and you
going
can't
on,
just use that against them then and be like,
Yeah.
well, they keep calling for every infraction.
Telling him, and his lawyer keeps telling them to call. Yeah.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do. That's literally the law. That's what the cops tell you to do.
Yerp. Well, we have here with us right now. We have what am I looking at? I'm looking at Megan Fox has 508 likes. I have a measly 451.
Oh, I'm winning the like battle at least.
You're winning the
I don't
like
think I'm winning the super chat battle today, though.
Probably are. I don't know.
I haven't even hit medium wage yet. It's very sad. Very sad.
But please make sure you get a like and subscribe to Megan Fox if you haven't already done so, and to me as well. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to me and my little old channel, Legal Vices, if you haven't already done so, and hit that like button. Let's get both of our likes up as high as we possibly can. We've currently got over 1,200 people total watching this, so each one of us could have 1,200 likes.
That's an excellent number of people. I'm very proud of you for being here.
Yes, they could be anywhere in the entire universe doing anything, but they chose to spend their time with us.
We're very happy. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
This chat is the best chat.
It is.
This is a brief intermission.
You're very much appreciated for saying that I'm appreciated. Anyway, we're in the home stretch here. We've got about 6 more minutes of part 1 of our 7-part hearings. And once we finish the hearings, we've got lots and lots and lots of motions.
Yeah, lots of
One
them.
of which is 119 pages.
Holy shit. That one's
The
going to take us 3 weeks.
The final one is just shy of 1,000 pages long.
Oh, shut up.
Transcripts.
Oh, yay. Transcript. There should be some good ones in there. I think that's where the deposition transcript is, where DeThomasis joins the deposition.
Nearly 1,000 pages worth of transcripts.
Wow.
But anyway, that's what. So, but we're going to be doing this for at least another 2 weeks. So
At least
this one hearing.
appear before this court on behalf of the Gosneys after reading the filed motion to dissolve, which contained those allegations.
Your Honor, that's fine.
Look at Randy. He's like, no way, man. You're not allowed to argue this. Oh,
It's not.
YouTube is doing some kind of weird stuff where my viewers keep dropping off and then coming back.
Yeah, I can't.
They probably come over to me and then go back to
So
you and
he's
vice versa.
playing the role of my videographer and he's not doing
200
so
at a
well. We
time?
have a part in Mr. Gosney's deposition in CA 58 where Mr. Gosney specifically answered a question as to what is your intent in that civil case? And his response was to have Mr. Griffith arrested, incarcerated. And he can, it's a video deposition. We can play that.
Is the transcript attached to your?
Not the transcript of William Gosney. It's the whole, I have it here in the card. It's 2 big binders.
Binders of women? Are
I
they?
have. Okay. Which one is that? That's his?
That's his.
Part 1 and part 2.
Oh, thank you, Santiago.
So if there's no objection, we'll put in the deposition of William Gosney that took place September 29, 2023.
Correct, yes.
All right.
That will be the next numbered exhibit, which is 7. It's 2 volumes that'll come in as composite. 7.
See, we don't make this up when we say double check to make sure you're
Your
still.
Honor, where are we
Yeah,
on
what
time?
page?
Just
Because
so I know.
YouTube unsubscribes.
They've been presenting their case for an hour and a half.
Well,
Oh, here we go. Shockett's had enough.
The rise of Shockett. Let's watch the powerful last 3.5 minutes. I'm going to go back just a couple seconds here so we can see him rise. Still, he rises.
He's getting mad.
Your Honor, where are we on
What
time? Just
page?
so I know. They've been presenting their case for an hour and a half.
Well, I'm going to ask you in a second here
Okay.
how much time you think you need, and it's whether it's going to be rescheduled for
15 minutes.
But I'm not going to deny your clients the ability to present their case. They've kind of presented their case and their argument.
Are they resting? I just
No, I got one thing I have to get in.
Fuck are they doing?
The transcript's now in, so if you want to just.
Page 117,
Oh my God.
line 13 through 118:14.
And again, remember, this is going on while all of the Jeremy Hales stuff is happening
Yep.
with the
Sorry,
same lawyer,
page
which is why he
117, line
hates
13.
Shockett. For Megan Fox.
Don't talk about your hair, says Chloe Albert's Revenge. I love your name, by the way. Justice for Chloe.
Violating his injunction as a result of the civil case.
Would I like to see him, or do you think, can you clarify the question? Are you saying, do I think that he violated his probation?
Yes, sir. I'm asking, would you like to see Mr. Griffith violated as a result of the civil case?
Not really as a result of this civil case, as a result of his actions.
There you go. What's
Okay.
wrong with that?
See, that's a misrepresentation by her. She said that they asked him in the deposition whether what the purpose of him filing the civil suit was, and she said that he said under oath the entire purpose was to get him locked up and thrown in jail. And
I
he's like,
think we
no,
can
not
check
as a
off-
result of my what's that?
Misleading the court.
Yeah. He said no, not as a result of my civil suit, as a result of his actions. He specifically said not because
Which
of the
is
suit.
absolutely reasonable. And I think that he should be violated because of his actions as well.
I think he violated his probation several times. And frankly, I think if probation does the right thing, I think they should lock him back up and send him to prison for the remainder of his term, and then go ahead and charge him with the other items, add those to the sentences where he does a nice long stint in local prison.
Where the hell did he say I filed my civil suit for the purpose of forcing him to violate his restraining order or the conditions of his probation?
He didn't.
Where did he say that?
He said he violated his probation and he should do a nice long stint in jail for that. Those are our laws. That's perfectly legal. He's absolutely right. If you violate your probation, you should get sent right back to jail.
And he specifically said, no, not as I don't want him to go to jail as a result of my lawsuit. He specifically said that. This prosecutor, this lawyer
lying
is, yeah, okay. I was going to say shady, but that works.
No, she's lying.
Yeah.
I know what I think you should do.
All right, and is that the purpose of this proceeding today?
Objection? Today? This is a deposition.
Sure, is it the purpose of your lawsuit, sir?
Objection? Now, that would probably involve some discussions with my attorney, as to legal conclusions about what we're doing in the lawsuit.
Robert, can I get a quick break? You gotta go for 5 minutes.
He specifically avoided saying yes to that. He went out of his way not to say yes to that.
And she's misrepresenting to the court that he did say yes to that.
She flat out said, he testified in his deposition that the reason he filed the civil suit was to violate it, was getting violated.
Yeah, then you play the video and it's like, oh, he didn't say that. Nope.
He said exactly the opposite. No, I don't want that as a result of my lawsuit. And if anything, they were trying to goad him into saying that, and he wouldn't. That's some bullshit right there.
Break.
Okay, let me see.
Okay.
Is that all?
Unless we're talking about count if they're going to rest. I got you.
Okay.
We're going to need to call one witness to ask about 3 questions regarding location.
Take a 10-minute recess.
Ah,
We'll stand at ease. We're at 10:26.
stand at ease. Oh, timestamp. 10:26. Timestamp. Time.
We got our timestamp. No bingo for me today.
I still don't have. I need Ludax to get a bingo. I need 911 call. I could have one, and I could have one with Judge, the most important in the room.
The only one I'm close to is administration of justice.
Ooh, he says that a lot, but we haven't heard him say it one time
Not
today.
Damn. So is that the end? That's the end of this part 1, people.
Yeah, because they're going to take a 10-minute recess. And wait till you see what happens after the 10-minute recess.
All right, we're gonna remove the sleeping dog here so Megan and I can talk you out. Holy cow. All right, here's what's coming up, but we will not be doing this tomorrow.
Right.
We will resume with Megan Fox hosting on Thursday. And then Friday we'll do it as well.
Right.
And
then
also,
next week,
yes,
next week I should be available I think almost every day. So I'll get with you on that. But next week, my schedule is going to be getting back to normal because we have, it looks like Tuesday might be the only day I can't.
Are you going to be streaming tomorrow something else other than this at any point in the day?
Probably not. I might do a later stream if I get done with my errands and stuff. But I'll probably take the day off tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow?
I don't know yet. I'm tossing around a few things in my skull.
Of course, and tonight I am going to have Tug on. So tonight it is Tuesday with Tug. That is happening on my channel. We are going to be talking about, obviously, this new lawsuit against Larry and Jeremy and DJ Radis. I'm going to try. We might read through that. And we're going to, and is MG? No, I don't think he's named in it. It's just DJ Radis, George.
No, you're right. He was in the 911 call.
And Larry, yeah. So we'll go over that. We're also going to go over the YouTube taking down our stream from yesterday, and I think there are some updates there may be some updates in the Tonsil Twins case that we may talk about. So we will see, but that will be tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on my channel. So I'll see you guys there.
Yeah, we might just kind of do a chill stream because surprisingly, these Judge Grudge things take a lot out of me. It's just the stress and the frustration and things.
You're going to need to go get your heart checked.
And we might just do a chill, move our Throwback Thursday trial to Wednesday. And I might do that. I might review the Chris Chan body cam footage of her arrest a few years ago. That just came out the other day, so might do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet. I did see that it came out, but I didn't watch it
It's
yet. Did
pretty
you
wild.
see? So I've been trying to do more shorts on my channel. Did you see the short that I did with our Flintstones?
Yes.
Memory lane.
That was good. That was good.
Check it out on my channel, you guys. I made a short out of the Flintstones Mastodon Drive thing, which is so funny. And it really did make me miss the Flintstones a ton. Cartoons are not the same anymore. God, they used to be good.
Yeah, no, sorry, we don't get a Maritime Wednesday. You guys, for me to prepare for Maritime Mondays, it takes about 8 hours to prepare for
Wow.
one of those. That's why I do it on Monday, so I have the weekend. And I just, yeah, that's not going to happen. And then Friday, we'll do this from Friday morning U.S. time and Friday evening U.S. time, starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing my August F It Friday stream, the new revamped less alcohol F It Friday stream, where we're going to have the F It Friday fickle Ferris wheel of fate. With
Oh,
rewards, punishments, neutral things, and of course, some booze. So stay tuned for that. Megan Fox is going to get an invite if you're around.
I
on
might
Friday.
actually be around. So yeah,
Sweet.
send me one.
I will be sending out invitations, and we've already had a few people ask, "Hey, what's going on?" So we will have our usual panel, but just it'll be a little calmer and a little less icky at the end. And then
Why
we'll
did
pick
the
this up.
last one? Did the last one go out of control? What happened?
Well, no, they don't go out of control. It's just, they're drinking an entire bottle of whiskey in 5 hours
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
doesn't have the same attraction as it did earlier in life. Now
It's funny. The older I get, the less I can drink. And it's fine because drinking is not good for you. So it's great to cut back on. But yeah, ever since the margarita stream the last time I had too many margaritas on stream, I have not wanted to touch it. Like I'm like,
Yeah, no, see, and that's what brought about the changes. Now it's where I start dreading the F It Fridays a week before, because I just know I'm going to waste a weekend and how horrible I'm going to feel.
Yeah,
following.
it's
So
harder.
I dread it for a week, and then I'm just not right for a week after.
Yeah, the hangovers are bad now. The hangovers are just terrible at this age.
Yeah, for me, it's not so much the hangover; it's just the ickiness of it all. But we do have our like and subscribe poll here to end. We did get up to 505 likes, 569 votes. That means like 60 of you cheated. Our like and subscribe poll: what should the Judge Grudge movie be called? It's fairly even across the board. 22% of you said The Grudge Strikes Back. 20
I like that one.
Say The Return of the Grudge. 24% of you say Mad Grudge Fury Road, and 31% of you say Grudgezilla. Grudgezilla won the poll today. So join us on Thursday on Megan Fox's channel for the resumption.
And we'll be simul streaming as well. Yes. You can be on Jeff's channel if you would like to watch it there as well. So we're going to keep doing it this way. This works out really well, and it's great. It's a great way to widen the audience.
And let's get through our final few super chats, and we'll set you as free as Megan Fox's bingo free space, just to roam around at will.
It's funny how much that bothers people.
There we go.
Jay Water, Roadless Wolf, thanks for the 5, says, I'm currently 33 minutes behind the live, watching at 2 times speed. Nice analysis of the illegitimate failure of Judge Grudge. Well, thank you for that.
Oh my, I've just realized something.
What?
I'm doing the math here. Hang on, give me the math real quick.
Lawyer math.
25. Oh, I'm $10 away from unlocking my second achievement. Ooh.
What's your second achievement?
We'll just have to find out in $10. Aussie Wombat with the Aussie $7, $8, another $100,000 down the drain. Maybe he's on commission. Judge Grudge on commission.
Yeah.
And maybe. Jack's mom. Anyone who appears before Judge should get trauma help. Yeah, they should have like trauma counselors in the lobby outside.
Yeah, right. For the lawyers.
And JKD Buck asked, how do Koreans react to folks who wave their hands around that much when they talk? Well, they tend to avoid you because there's clearly something wrong with you.
Oh, that's funny.
And Jackie with the 20 pounds, loving the interludices legal vices.
The interludes.
Interludes does. Oh, the interludes. Okay. The interludes. The interludes is.
Not to be confused with the internudes, which we haven't got to yet on the bingo card.
Wow. All right. And the final one for Megan Fox.
Tie sticks, thanks to the 5. One administration of justice away from a bingo. Doesn't look like I'll be winning this one. Card number 27. Yeah, I didn't win either, and I have so many check marks. It's incredible. I can't believe I didn't get a bingo.
I had card number 12, and I was waiting for administration of justice too.
Yeah, me too.
So, all right.
8.
We were 10 short of the second achievement at the end of our show here. So there we go, peeps. Again, my mods and Megan's mods, you're both the best mods in the entire known universe. We would have much more difficulty doing this without all of you. And thanks to both sets of chats. Oh, we got one more coming in for you, Megan Fox.
Cages, thanks to the 5. I would have thought the movie would be called Times and Dates, explaining the decimal system in real life situations.
too long.
It's perfect for Judge Grudge, though.
Yes.
It's long and boring.
And thanks to all the chat for supporting both of us throughout all of this, the super chats, the memberships, the gifted memberships, all of that. Thank you so much. And just for the chats being the most awesome chats on the entire internet right here. Megan Fox, me. Megan, anything you want to say on the way out?
Nah, I'm good. Everybody have a great day.
Everybody have a great day. I will not subject you to a 5.5-minute outro song. Like some people I know. I will just play my little thing here just as long as it takes it to disconnect from the show. See you all with me tomorrow and Megan later tonight with Tug on Tuesdays with Tug. Bye, everybody.